Nice to see you again. It's a program of choice, Health Affairs on AIT, a platform where we focus on public health challenges, issues about women and children with a view to providing lasting solutions. I am a regular anchor, Ushomo Wadanis, and you're welcome. Our focus today is on the first 1,000 days of a man's life. Do you know that the first 1,000 days of a man's life immediately after birth determines a lot about their future? Please stay tuned. We'll be back right after the new segment.
It just shows that this has been a very productive, value-added program which has been sponsored annually by NAIP. And I want to commend the leadership of NAIP, both past and present, for sustaining this forum, because it's an educative forum that helps in planning for the future. It has also raised the mental picture of what we are capable of doing.
The Economic Outlook and CEOs Forum by the NAIP has over the years become a gathering of global relevance that attracts critical players in the health sector. With the 2023 theme, Trends, Challenges and Opportunity for the Pharma Sector, techniques of how to adapt to the planned fuel subsidy removal, contract manufacturing and other economic challenges amid transition to a new government came to the fore.
We are going to expect something like inflection. It's bound to happen. We are going to expect some radical changes, of course, in the forest market again. There's need for you to make adequate preparation for your business. Salaries may increase. There will be a demand in salary. The prices of the commodities we are selling may also not be the same thing again. The question is, our customers out there, do they have the necessary financial wherewithal to absorb the prices we are going to fit in? These are the challenges, and it's now that we are preparing so that they can, when they see it coming, they'll be in a better position to manage them.
Amazing. NAIP continues to exceed my expectations. I am a president or maybe chairperson of another trade organization, and I haven't been doing too much. But after watching Ken, I'm going to go get everybody excited and charged and start doing things for my organization. Yes, and the topic is perfect. This is the right time to start engaging on contract manufacturing, collaboration, cooperation, because we need to fully utilize the capacities available here and build up capacity to watch cost and to ensure on quality so that Nigeria is ready for this African continental trade area.
The lessons that we learned during COVID, where the importing countries in Asia decided to satisfy their own internal requirements before giving excess drug requirement out to other countries. So I would believe that with the level of import and with the population that we have, that if we collaborate between importers and those that are currently manufacturing, then Nigeria will be better secured. So what we want the incoming government to do is to create an enabling atmosphere to know that drug and health are issue of security.
To ensure medicine sufficiency, speakers also touched on the need to look inward and explore traditional medicines for a positive advantage.
We also begin to look into what we have in the country before the orthodox medicine, and we shouldn't shy away from that. I remember during the Civil War, just on a slight note, my grandmother would always insist that we use bitter leaf as chewing stick and not the orthodox toothpaste and what have you. But you can, if you think that somebody from childhood uses that as chewing stick every day, the person would have been taking prophylactic amount of medicine and probably prevent any cancer from occurring.
It's about time that we begin to take ownership of our own destiny by localizing both in production, in development of drugs and anything needed for our healthcare in Nigeria. Grow the patriotism of Nigerians to know that because something in Nigeria or because something is manufactured in Nigeria does not mean that thing is inferior. It is as good as the imported product that people are clamoring for, that people want to consume, people want to buy.
The event had a lot of interesting sessions as well as recognition of individuals who have done well in their fields of endeavor. The Association of Industrial Pharmacists of Nigeria, NAIP, is a technical arm of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, PSN, which includes all registered and licensed pharmacists in the pharmaceutical industry within Nigeria, with a commitment to promote sound pharmacy profession, up-to-date pharmacy education, and research.
Hand over this facility to Lagos State University Teaching Hospital in the name of God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit.
Commissioning of 6 elevators at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, Luth, by the Senior Special Advisor to the President, Princess Adejoke Orelope Adefulere. Princess Adefulere, who had also donated solar panels to the hospital, appealed to well-positioned individuals and organizations to give back to the society so that our health institutions can have the enabling environment for patients and health workers.
To whom much is given, much is expected. I've been in public office for a while, and I know I have experience on what this means to people who will benefit from this opportunity that we have provided. I know what it means to the consultant that will work. I know what it means to Nigeria as a country. So if you have the knowledge, if you have the expertise, if you have everything and the environment is not conducive, that is the difference between us and the developed country. So we must provide it. Every time any of our doctors travel abroad, working, they excel. And they are pride of Nigeria. So what is the problem? We must ensure that what they are doing outside the country will be done here. And I know that they have what it takes to do this job, but we must support them to ensure that we make environment conducive for them, we make the facility up to date, and with what we have supported them with today and what we promise to do, it will go a long way in making their job more sustainable and more rewarding for the people of Nigeria.
That from 2019 to date, our capital budgetary allocation has increased by about 900%. The highest by any government in the last 24 years of our democratic experience. I have no doubt in my mind that should this increase be sustained, our tertiary hospitals will be hospitals of the 21st century. In 2022, the Office of the Special Assistant to the President, or Mr. President, on Sustainable Development Goals, donated 300 solar power street lights to Lagos University Teaching Hospital. I want to thank you, ma'am, once again, and the federal government of Nigeria for this kind gesture. Ma'am, I've had a single opportunity to take you around the hospital some 3 weeks ago. You have gone around our hospital and you have seen for yourself that we still need more help in other areas, particularly some of our buildings that have been built for more than 50 years that need renovation. Kindly put us in mind. We shall be forever grateful. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless Nigeria.
In the last few years, Luth has been given a facelift through the efforts of the private sector, making it compete favorably with any hospital across the world. Nigeria has entered into a research partnership with the Canadian government to eradicate monkeypox viral infection. The project, termed CAMP, aims to study the transmission dynamics and evaluate medical countermeasures to inform the clinical and public health response to monkeypox in Canada and Nigeria. The project, which will also explore the use of smallpox vaccine and medication to treat monkeypox, will no doubt improve public health outcomes.
There are 3 aims that the research is hoping to do, and NAIMA is the lead and will be participating in all the 3 aims. The first one is to look at the epidemiology of the disease, to determine what they call the transmission dynamics. How is the disease transmitted? It's still poorly understood, and that we will be unraveling. And we cannot do that without looking at people who are affected or infected by the disease, and they will be in the community. That's why we have to be talking to the community through this medium. The other one is the clinical trials in relation to the drugs, the smallpox drug that has been used. Because the virus has a close relationship to smallpox, we want to look at the possibility of using that same drug to treat monkeypox. And the third one is to look at the effectiveness of the smallpox vaccines on people and prevention.
Welcome back. The first 1,000 days of a man's life and the kind of nutrition and care given by parents to a large extent determines their immunity and quality of life. On this episode today, we're telling the kind of care and the kind of nutrition that parents should give to safeguard the future of their children. A larger percentage of Nigerians are managing one non-communicable disease or the other. Also, many are dying daily due to diseases that are preventable. If parents and caregivers will learn the value of the first 1,000 days of a child and take advantage of good nutrition so as to lay a solid health foundation for individuals, as well as improve chances of a child's survival. From the routine care cleaning of the baby, placenta dressing and others, nutrition of the baby is very critical. Mothers at this stage are always advised to commence exclusive breastfeeding without water for the first 6 months.
I think we need to understand what the 1,000 days are really. This is from conception, from the time a woman conceives to the time the child is 2 years old. This is a great window of opportunity to lay the foundation for growth and development for a child and indeed for the nation.
So what should mothers know about this and what kind of food should they give to their children within this time frame?
Okay, the 1,000 days of life is actually the time when you build the brain, when you lay foundation for good health, for lifelong health for the child, and a time when you begin to build lay the foundation for economic development for the nation. And also, more importantly, it is a time that we ensure that the child has a good start in life. If you don't get it right, the cognitive development of the child and the physical development of that child is compromised. And this has lifelong effects, which will eventually impact on the development of the nation. In terms of nutrition, you will start with the adolescent girl, making sure that she's well nourished, because we know that from adolescents, some girls get pregnant. So the mother needs to be well nourished before she conceives a baby, because the nutritional status of the mother affects the growing baby that is growing within her. So we need to be sure that the mother is well nourished. And you start this with basic things like folic acid, iron folate, to give to the mother when she goes to the facility. So we encourage the mother to go to the health facility where the pregnancy will be confirmed and where she can be given the micronutrient that she requires for the growing child. And then when the baby arrives, then the mother is supported to place the baby to the breast within the first 1 hour of birth. This is also why it's critical for her to have the child in hospital where she'll be assisted to deliver and to begin to place the child on the breast. We call it early initiation to the breast. The breast provides the first immunization for that child, because that first milk that comes out, we call it the colostrum, is yellowish, has a lot of antibodies and protects the child as well as nourishes the child. And then the child continues with exclusive breastfeeding, because breast milk has all the nutrients and water that the child needs to grow up to the age of 6 months. A lot of the onsets of non-chronic diseases, of non-communicable diseases is linked to breastfeeding. For instance, you have diabetes, you have children that are not exclusively breastfed end up having, later on in life, they end up having diabetes, and sometimes they have other non-communicable diseases linked to nutrition. So you would be losing that opportunity. And apart from old age, even when they are still young, those children that are not breastfed end up having they are more risk for diseases, and so they get to the hospital more often, resulting in high medical costs for both the nation and the families.
This is later followed up with complementary feeding that should comprise of balanced diet to prevent the child from malnutrition.
Say that the Southwest is doing a little better than some regions, but there are other regions that are doing better than the Southwest, like the South and the Southeast in terms of stunting. So, but we do not want any child to be stunted. We want every child to achieve their full potential in life. Therefore, what we need to do is not begin because we're already doing that, but we need to continue and to go to scale to work at preventing malnutrition. I said for the mother, before pregnancy and during pregnancy, make sure that she's well nourished. She takes her recommended micronutrients and supplements. Begin to give nutritious meal. But that meal is not the same as a family meal. It's usually very mashed food, soft for the child to be able to take. But you start this from 6 months and you continue breastfeeding until 2 years, which is that at the end of that are 1,000, and transit them to family meals. The other message is also to encourage our communities, because we know the impact of and the influence of family members, is to begin to pass this message to all the family members and to our community so that they promote maternal nutrition. They also promote infant and young child feeding, which I have listed as early initiation, exclusive breastfeeding, and adequate and timely complementary feeding. So if we work with, say, the agri section, we'll be able to get the agri extension workers to begin to teach our community members, our caregivers within the community, the kind of food they can grow, and also teach them what other substitutes they can use to be able to meet up with the different food groups that the child is expected to have.
Along with good nutrition to prevent malnutrition, vaccination of the baby is another critical issue that parents must not toil with.
You take the children for their immunization in the hospitals and make sure that you register their birth, because you know that every child needs to be registered to be recognized as a citizen of the country and to be able to access other facilities.
Towards immunization, we also have the key message that we give out for immunization is a way of protecting children from vaccine-preventable diseases as soon as a baby is delivered through the administration of vaccines orally or like injection. We have talked about so much about immunization today, and we still continue to talk it. We need you to help us. We need you, to collaborate with us, and we also are collaborating with you to ensure that our children live a healthy life. We don't want children that will not be able to achieve their academics in the near future. So I need you, my sister. I need you. You are doing beautiful, so I need you. I need you too. So we have to collaborate with ourselves. While we are saying it within ourselves at the community level, we want you to project it on the media.
It is often said that if you fail to plan, you are planned to fail. Once you are pregnant, it is compulsory for you to go through antenatal care so that the medical practitioners will know, if the pregnancy can be taken to term or if there is problem with the pregnancy. Of course, after giving birth, it is very, very crucial that the first 1,000 days of the child's life is important. You need to complete the doses of the immunization so that it prevents the child from any of these vaccine preventable diseases, which are common. And again, good nutrition, good diet, the first 1,000 days of a child's life says a lot about the survival of the child. So I am pleading with mothers that the first 1,000 days of the child's life must be taken as important, for the child's survival. After the first 1,000 days, whatever has happened to the child, we stay with the child for life. So we need to protect our children by ensuring that we take a complete dose of the vaccine.
wrap it up today. Let's do it again same time next week. Don't forget to advertise your health product and services on the program. I remain yours truly, Ushomowa Danis. Please keep staying safe.